Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Nutmeg Curling Club. It is Saturday, April 21st. We survived the Friday night party here at Nutmeg, and we are back here to provide you more curling on what is going to be a long day of curling over here. I am Britt. I am back to guide you through the morning draw. Well, most of it anyway. I have to play at 9:45, so excuse me. I will be on as much as I can. And I will be setting up the stream right now. As you can see, some of the curlers are already heading out into the ice. And I will be setting up those teams for you in just a moment. Right now, I'm just setting up the stream info. And the stream info is set up. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is near houses as the curlers head on out. Over here on Sheet C, we've got Team Henneberry. That's going to feature Phil Stevens at Vice. I believe he's got Matt at second and Tova at lead today. I could be wrong about that. What's that?
I was just looking at his team.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about role playing.
Yeah, we're still getting used to a lot of the names here, folks, so bear with us.
No, we have only the I emailed them. Like,
okay, and we're just waiting on the last member of Team Tully over here on Sheet C. Brian will be leading his squad out there in a moment to start the match. He should have Rob, Andrew, and Phil with him today. Over here on Sheet B, we've got Trish Ryan's team. It's going to be viced by Lori Caldwell, and she'll be joined by Kevin and Ashley over here on Sheet B. John Gibbons is going to be heading out in a moment himself to oppose her on Sheet B, and Team Gibbons is going to be himself, Jake, Tim, and Steven.
wow, all right.
Finally, over here on Sheet A match that should be extraordinarily fun to watch. This is going to be Nigel Lucas versus Alf Winter. Alf is working with Angelo, Jeff, and Greg. He's got a couple of new players today. And over here with Nigel, we've got Karen Shane. Our treasurer is playing Vice. It's a lot of fun to play with her. I am going to botch this poor person's name. Jarina.
It's not that hard.
What is it?
Jarina.
I'm bad with names. Have you heard me do this? No. The director is upset because I'm bad with names, but so and Kristen will be the lead for Nigel Lucas's team. So the teams are getting out there and getting all set up. I'm still having some breakfast, and we are underway, particularly over on Sheet A, which is convenient because that's the one sheet I cannot give you the close-up view on. So I'll give you this wide zoom, which shows you all three, and we'll get set up from there. Okay, so we got matches underway here. Had to step away for a second there, pardon me. It looks like Nigel is throwing yellow stones over on A. Alf has already put something into the back forefoot. He's got a challenge.
Just so we know which members. So that's all I was doing.
Meanwhile, over here on Sheet C, Brian's lead is throwing his first stone. And who is Brian's lead? I know I just said the name, but the faces are changing. It looks like it's Phil. So there's two Phils on Sheet C. Both the lead and the vice, I believe, are Phil. That should be easy for me to remember. And his first rock goes down. It's a nice high guard. Meanwhile, over on Sheet B, the first stone is coming down for Trish Ryan.
Hey, you never know.
And I am making it my personal mission this weekend to get at least one greenhorn onto this broadcast, but I'm looking around the warm room, and all we have is experienced curlers in the warm room.
All two of us.
All three of us in it. Wait, all two of us. I'm here.
You're the announcer.
No, I don't count because I'm the announcer. That's fair. But Marianne is here, and I will be playing her at 9:45. Looking forward to that. Played with Marianne multiple times. Always a good time playing with Marianne. And listen, if you're listening to this and you're nearby Nutmeg Curling Club here in Bridgeport, come down. We're going to be here all day, literally. What's the last draw? 10:45?
I am here for 19 hours. 17 today and 2 first thing in the morning.
Okay, so we are going to be here until at least midnight. I think it's safe to say, at the earliest, this curling club tonight is closing at midnight. So there is going to be 16 hours plus of continuous curling going on in this club today. If you are in the area, please come on down. If you're not in the area, the stream will be running all day. Whether or not we have commentators all day will depend on how the stream plays out and who's here. But I will make my best effort to be on as much as I can. All right, so let's take another quick look. Gibbons has a stone in the back four. Alf still has a stone over on A. He has a red stone in the back four. And it looks like we are setting guards galore over here on C. Mike Heideberry's first guard attempt from Tova came up a little short, but now there's a nice little wall there, so he is going to ask her to draw in. I'll tell you one of the things that's struck me in the couple of matches. I played one last night, I watched one last night, now I'm watching tonight. The ice has been very fast, even in the first end. We've had a lot of fast ice, and that's really good. Excuse me. It's nice to see that the first end ice that sometimes happens when you get to league play when ice has been sitting around all day has not really hit us. Tova's shot is nice. If it slows down for her, it looks like it's going to creep right in there. And we believe that is a button shot undercover. How nice is that? Well played. And Brian's not going to waste any time. He's going to try and draw down to it or bump it. We're going to go back to the wide view. Here comes a stone here on sheet B for Trish Ryan. And it looks like she's just going to try and put some separation there. Now, under normal circumstances, let's take a look at that overhead really quick. That would constitute a double. However, we have a lot of new curlers here, so a lot of guys have not thrown doubles yet. They're still, you know, people who've been curling for a month. They're not throwing doubles. They can hit a double. And it looks like that is what Trish is going to call. I'm sorry, that was a stone from John Gibbons' team. So this will be interesting. We're going to stick here for 1 second just to see how this plays out. Stone is on its way, and it is heavy. Is it online? No. And there is a valuable lesson for that new player. I mean, about staying on target. It's hard. People don't understand that. If you've never curled, if you're watching this right now and you've never curled, you have no idea how hard it is to stay on broom. It is extraordinarily challenging to hit that broom, particularly when you're trying to throw a heavy rock, where you're trying to put a lot of force behind it. It's hard. The director disagrees. He says it's not that hard to hit the broom with the weight. Two jobs. You have two jobs. Hit the target and hit the target hard. You know what? I'm going to remember that the next time I'm going to put this on the air. This is going to go on the air for posterity. The next time I'm on this side of the glass and I see the director miss a takeout under any circumstances, I'm going to just stand at the window and go, "You had two jobs." It may be a year from now. It may be 6 years from now. But the next time it happens.
Oh no, I missed it.
I missed a couple last night. I missed a couple of takeouts really bad, and it really is what cost me my match. I don't mean to go all therapy on everybody for a second, but I had a hard time getting to sleep last night. I could not get my match out of my head last night. That's the curse of being when you skip, is you've got all that stuff in your head. Like, man, I could have done this. I should have done that. Played a heck of a game, though. I was very happy with it. As you can see, while I've been babbling on and talking about my own insecurities, we've gotten 3 red rocks into the 4-foot over here on B. So John is going to say, enough with this. Let's just set some guards. So even in this first end, I'm going to switch back to the wide zoom so you can see all three sheets. Everybody has something in the forefoot. Everybody is going in early and making shots, which is great. Is Team Gibbons playing a man down?
Yeah.
No. Well, in full disclosure, last night I had to email my guys because I have two new guys today, and I accidentally sent it to the wrong two guys. So I got an email this morning at 7 a.m. saying, Britt, I thought you said you were going to tell us what time we're supposed to be there. And I'm like, oh, no. So that's on me. I had to own that and say, guys, I'm really sorry. That's my mistake. Oh, unfortunately, he just wrote back to me and said, we'll see you in a little bit. So that's good. So, Michael, I owe you a drink for giving you like 2 hours notice that you had to curl. I'm going to do a quick close-up on B. Look at this gathering of stones. I don't even know which one is the shot. I think it's the yellow. But if the yellow is the shot, it's awful tight in there. So John must think yellow is the shot, or at least yellow is cutting him down significantly enough that he is going to take a shot at it. Even with some newer curlers. I mean, this is a tight shot. Because, I mean, if you miss a little bit to the left or the right, you can really damage your own team's efforts here. So this is a very tough shot. Let's see what happens. He's scrubbing. He's scrubbing. The sweeper scrubbing. It looks like it's online. It's going to be just... Ooh, look at that. What a great shot. Who is that gentleman in the blue hat on B?
That is Jake Ness.
Jake just made a fantastic tight takeout that actually pretty much doubled. It hit the stone on its way out and pushed the other one into the very back of the 12-foot. A very tight, very good shot.
Jake Ness is who I have listed.
Yeah, Jake just made a tremendous shot. And Lori Caldwell says, hey, I'm here too. And she's going to double out a couple of reds. And now all of a sudden we're starting to spread out a little bit on B. Let's go back to the wide zoom, see what everybody else is up to. Got stones all over the place on C. Got a couple of stones and a lot of yellow guards over there on A. Alf is coming out with his rock now. This is Alf's first rock, or is this his last rock? I can't tell. I'm all the way over on the other side. It looks like this is his last shot. Does Alf have hammer here? He might. And Alf is going to come and try and draw in and just nick that yellow right out of the way. And if that's the shot, if that's hammer, he's got two. He's sitting two right now. Nope, he must not have hammer. Nigel must have hammer. Yeah, Yellowstone is now into the hack, and this is the hammer on sheet A coming up. So Nigel staring down a steal of two has to do something about it. I mean, the angle for the double to hit one red into the other is technically there. He could try to cross over to the left side of that red stone and send it over. The problem is the yellow stone that he would want to be his counter or second stone would then be in the way. So I don't see a way he's getting both those reds out without damaging his own yellow. And here comes Nigel's shot. He does come nice and heavy. He's definitely going takeout here. I think he's just going to try and take out that one stone and roll over. See where it goes here. Oh, Angelo's ready. This may not be online. And it's going to hit, and it's going to clear out, but it's going to leave him with one yellow. Not much he could do there. I mean, just the alignment of the stones made the double nearly impossible. So he'll take one yellow and surrender the hammer to Alf. Meanwhile, we're up to skip rocks over here on B, and Trish Ryan is throwing her first rock. She does not have hammer. John Gibbons has hammer here. Let's quickly show you what that looks like. That house looks like. Again, still a lot of stones in the 4-foot there. And this stone is going to come up right into the 8-foot. Oh, it might get to the, almost gets to the 4, but it is right in front of that red stone. And that leaves him a difficult choice. Now, the interesting thing about this is we have to figure out, John has to figure out how he is going to get 2 out of this. I mean, Trish has set herself up that she has got double run back. She could hit either one of those yellows straight back, and she would be able to knock him out. So that's kind of where she's left it. Let's go to far sheet C as Brian Tully is getting ready to throw his first skip rock. And as you can see, the count right now is 3 yellow, and Brian is going to try and add to that. I believe he's going to try and throw a guard here because those 2 yellows that are in the 4-foot are somewhat exposed. I can see them from where I'm sitting. They're scrubbing. They're scrubbing. I think they were scrubbing more for line. But look at that. That is a gorgeous guard. And now I can see none of those stones. Between the red and the yellow, I can see none. So that pretty much leaves Mike Henneberry with the option of just trying to curl in there. But he's going to think about it. Meanwhile, here comes John Gibbons' first stone over on sheet B. Coming into play right now. Because I was paying attention to C, I didn't see what he actually decided to do here. It looks like he's going to just try and chip that yellow, but he does hit his own red. And the end result is 1 red, maybe 2. Hard to tell. I think it might be 2, but we'll have to wait and see. That's not the hammer anyway. And Trish is going to go after that. Trish hits that at the exact angle she's pointing at. There's a possibility of a double, even with the jam on the back. But she's not really worried about stuff in the 12-foot right this second. She's really much more worried about stuff in the 4-foot. While she walks back, let's go back to sheet C because Mike Henneberry is getting into the hack to throw his first red stone. And he looks like he's coming heavy. Sweepers are on it, though. And let's see where this goes. I think he was trying to redirect off that yellow. He's just going to get a piece of it. He's not going to be able to remove it, but he is going to redirect it. All right, so back to sheet B, because here comes Trish Ryan's last rock. Okay, let's see here. Rock is coming. It's got good weight. Again, this is all about angle. If this... No, wait. Ooh. Apparently, she decided to go away from that, or it just curled a ton more than they expected. Either way, that is not where she wanted to go. And now John Gibbons will come up with hammer and an attempt to put in another stone. What is this call? I think he is trying to drive. He's just going to curl over and push out that yellow. And if he can hit and stick and get that yellow out of his way, he'd be sitting 3. His stone is on its way. Brian Tully is also throwing his last stone on C, but it's not the hammer. We'll go back to that as soon as we find out what happens here on sheet B. This being the hammer, I want to make sure we get this one on the broadcast. Let's see what he does here, and he is going to move everything around and end up with the 3 reds. Not exactly as he drew it up, but my goodness, did that work. Meanwhile, over on far C, Brian Tully throws another guard. He is still sitting 2. And now here comes Mike Henneberry's hammer. And he has got to get a piece of the button, or he is going to surrender at least 1. If he can get into solid 4, he can cut him to 1. But it looks like Brian Tully has set up a pretty good steal here. And the stream is indicating that we have 6 people up early watching. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you have any questions or comments, please put them into the chat panel. I'll be happy to answer them as soon as I can. Mike Henneberry's shot, it is heavy, but it's heading right at that yellow. If he can get a hit and roll here, he could very easily turn this end around. It looks good, and it curls a little bit near the end, and it just skinnies through. Great shot attempt, great idea there, and it'll be 2 yellow. So we will have 2 points for Team Tully over on sheet C. It'll be 2-0 there. It'll be 3-0 for John Gibbons over Trish Ryan on sheet B. And it's 1-0 in favor of Alf Winter. No, I'm sorry, in favor of Nigel Lucas over on sheet A. So now we switch views to the near houses, which means I get to wave. They're coming towards us now. They'll be coming towards us in a moment on C. They're just a minute or 2 behind everybody else. But you can see that we've already got developments on A. So let me show you what's happened so far on A, because I do have this near A camera. We've got red counting 1 at the moment with hammer. So let's see what happens here.
Oh, look at that.
All right, guys, sorry about that. I had to go take a brief coffee break, but I have returned. And let's see what we're looking at. Well, over on sheet C, we've got one stone in the house that Mike Henneberry is going to try and remove right now. Meanwhile, over on sheet B, it looks like we've got a spread house where we're kind of using the 12 and the 8-foot right now. And sheet A is a very active house. Let's go to that really quick. Whew, looks like we got one yellow at the moment, but a lot of yellow in the back of the house, a lot of yellow in the front of the house, a lot of red rather in the front of the house. Just a lot going on. Ten people again joining us this morning. How 10 people are up this early and not actually curling on a Saturday morning is beyond me. If I were not here talking to you nice folks, I would be home in my bed making dream sandwiches. So, just saying. Okay. And the director has just given me a note. We are one man short on Team Gibbons for this draw, even though it's only a 6-end game and they're in the second end. If you're in 20 or 30 minutes driving here, you could still get down here and get a couple ends in. So if any of the greenhorns are waking up on a Saturday morning and saying, man, I'd love to get a little extra ice time, well, throw on some pants and come on down. We'll get you out there right now. I'd go out there myself, but I'm so good that I would tip the balance, and just that's simply not fair. The director won't let me do it, so. Anyway, while I was babbling, we have more action over here on sheet A. We have everything in the back half of the house, still counting one yellow with the second and third stones being red. So that's pretty active. Over here on near B, we've got, looks like one yellow, but a red that's encroaching and another yellow coming in. And I think Trish is actually coming after that stone. It looks, she's watching the line very carefully. She'll be coming into your camera view any minute. Coming in really nice. This would be a very nice take. Who is that? Oh, that was Lori Caldwell. That's a gorgeous shot. And that changes the complexion of that end, particularly seeing as she has got the hammer and she's down 3. She's setting herself up for a very nice end. Meanwhile, over here on sheet C, not quite so much to show you. They've been trading stones and trying to hide behind that wall of high guards. So not really a whole lot going on right now on sheet C in terms of like discussable shots. Although AJ's in the hack right now, and AJ probably can put something right into the house. Let's see, here comes his shot. It looks a little heavy from my perspective. Mike Henneberry's going to inch up. It looks like it's digging in. Excuse me, is it going to dig in enough? No, unfortunately, it's not. There's that fast ice I was talking about, folks. This is a really quick club tonight, or today. So, back to the wide view. Oh, I'm hearing a lot of yelling over on sheet A. Let's see what the hubbub's about. It's a red stone. It's coming in, and it's going to be right in there, and it is going to be shot rock. And that's going to be one red. Alf and Nigel dueling back and forth. 1 point, and Alf slaps his compatriot Nigel on the back. That is a fun game to watch. If you don't know Alf Winter or Nigel Lucas, they are two of the most fun guys to play with. But they're both experienced players, can both skip a team, but they are both willing to play any position you want them to play. And they're both a little bit crazy, which is great. Alf likes to wear fedoras, and Nigel is curling in shorts. So I don't get the shorts curling thing. Yeah, the director's with me on that one. Hey, but remember, you got to be comfortable. I mean, that's the key. But anyway, so that end is over. So let me take you back to the wide zoom. As you can see over there on sheet C, which is your extreme left, we've got 2 stones in the house. We've got a biter, and we've got one on the 8-foot. And Brian Tully is going to try and follow that one down. Let's bring that into... Oh, nope, sorry, that's the wrong angle. Here we go. It's going to get right up there next to it, and you're going to get a little bit of separation, but man, is that going to be hard to take out straight off. Probably the best thing for Mike Henneberry to do is follow it down again. So, meanwhile, over here on sheet B, John Gibbons is in the hack for his first stone, operating without the hammer here and staring down 2 yellow stones. Looks like he's going to try and draw in, and behind those 2 guards, maybe even shoulder that yellow. And if he does that, it might be tough to get out of there. Comes out. Sweeper is going on up. Sweeper up. I like that sweeper's hat. It's a nice wintry looking hat. Coming into view right now. The sweeper is giving up on it because it looks like it's a little heavy. And Trish is going to push it back as far as she can. But it is definitely going to outcount the yellow in the front half of the house, so it's not a bad stone. And it's in a spot that's difficult to reach. So Trish is going to try and, I think she is trying to put something up to kind of guard his access with her first shot, and then see what she can do with her second to maybe get this into a range of getting 2 or 3. So... Meanwhile, over on sheet C, there's a lot of discussion taking place on where Brian Tully wants the broom. This is his first stone, and he just motioned like a big curl, like he's expecting a big curl. I don't know if, pardon me for a second. Sorry about that, folks. For those of you who know me, you know I get really bad seasonal allergies. For those of you who don't know me, that was TMI. So I'm trying to cut the mic rather than sneeze or blow my nose into it. Here comes Trish's rock over here on B. The comment I was about to make before I had my brief sneezing fit. And this, yeah, she's looking for a guard. That's a gorgeous one. It's curling a little bit more. I think she wanted probably dead center line to be safe. But actually, that's a really nice spot. That might have been where she wanted it. Back to sheet C, because Brian's rock is coming down. The point I was going to make is Brian and AJ are both newer members. They've been around for a couple of years, but they are both fantastic guys to curl with as well. And so it's good to see them playing together. I hope they have some success this weekend and really get some chance to play together, because I believe they're both in the 5 and under ranks, and I could absolutely see AJ and Brian getting into a Dykes team if they're both still eligible. I know AJ is. I'm not sure about Brian's eligibility, but Brian's rock was just gorgeous right there. It's partially exposed. I mean, Mike can see it, but what can Mike realistically do about it is another story. If he hits that straight back, he hits it straight back into the other yellow, and we've got a jam situation, or he takes out one and he doesn't really change the count. So now they're discussing, and that's what they're going to probably try and do. So I've just gotten informed that part of the festivities today is that we have a disc golf basket outside for your tailgating needs. Again, if you can hear me and you're within driving of Nutmeg Curling Club in Bridgeport, why aren't you here? It's nice out. You can come inside when you want to watch some curling. You can go outside and practice your disc golf. We've got other outdoor activities too, from what I understand, so you should come down. In the meantime, here comes Mike Henneberry's shot. It is hot. This is going to be all about line. It's going to be coming into your view in a moment. And this is all about line. Is it going to get to that yellow stone?
Nope.
No, it hung out on him. I think that was just he gave that so much weight that it just hung out on him. And he's disappointed in himself. But aren't we all when we miss shots like that? Meanwhile, over here on sheet B, we have Trish Ryan going up for her last shot. And this is her hammer. I'm not quite sure what she is doing here personally. I did not see what the call is. It looks... Yeah, is that what it is? Is she actually trying for a double here?
No, she's throwing yellow, right?
Yeah.
She's going to bump the red off the 4-foot. Yeah, you could get 2.
And she could get 2 if she can get that red out of there. So it looks like she's shooting at that red. And the stone is coming into play. Oh, right by the guard. Is it got enough weight to push that red out of its way, though? It does not. Oh, what a tremendous shot in terms of line. It just didn't have the energy to get the stone as far back as she wanted, and she'll give up one more to red. But, man, was that a tight shot. She barely snuck by that guard, and well done, well placed by her. Glad I got a chance to zoom in on that one. Meanwhile, Sheet C, the developing situation, that is Brian Tully's attempt to take 2+. Because of the difficulty with Mike Henneberry's takeout, he now finds himself in a situation where he can guard that and possibly steal 2 more. So I believe that is what he is going to try and do. He is going to try and guard up the yellow. And I see the look on Mike's face. That looks like when I missed my takeouts last night. I mean, that's frustrating for a skip. We're perfectionists. Skips are perfectionists. That's just all there is to it. Brian's shot is on its way. It looks a little heavier than a guard, but it's starting to curl and starting to dig in. This actually might be gorgeous. I could be completely wrong, and I am completely wrong. Man, is that a nice shot. Oh, you could not line that up any better. With that high guard out there that takes away coming in from the right, coming into the tight left, and just staying maybe an inch off of directly in line, there is nothing that I can see that Mike can do that's going to result in getting out that shot rock. He could potentially double the guard that he just put up and the shot in the 8-foot, but it's not going to save the end because he's still going to have that yellow rock and the red that he's going to have to contend with. So, a glorious shot by Brian Tully.
Outside. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I don't.
And now, yeah, Mike is just going to go down there and say, you know what, I got to outdraw him. I got to get around those guards, and I got to get to the button. And with the amount of curl we're seeing right now, that's entirely possible.
Yeah.
I have to go back on Mike because I just made a bad joke in the director's. I'm getting the death look from the director right now. We were talking about the Dykes, and he was talking about how they've made the finals the last 2 years. And I said, well, that's funny. You didn't bring the trophy back the last 2 years. And of course, the guy who's making the joke has never even sniffed the finals at the Dykes. You're on, yeah, because you won it once, but
We won it last year. We lost this year.
yeah, okay, you lost this year. So I mean, I don't know why we even have this conversation. If you'd won 2 years in a row, we'd have something to talk about. But yeah, and they wanted me to be positive on the mic.
One of those freaking radio talk shows.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm a terrible person. We do know that. That I am. I'm just having a joke at the expense of the director over there. Meanwhile, while I was chatting, we have a lot of action over here on Sheet A that I cannot give you a close-up on, but you can see there's a lot of stones in play, and there's a lot of red in play, and it looks like the only 2 stones that are counting are red.
And one yellow fighter.
It should be noted that, in all honesty, the director is part of a fantastic Dykes team that includes Brian Tully, which is why when I was saying, if Brian's still got 5 and under eligibility, which is how this whole conversation started, he should consider getting a team together with AJ. But he's already got a team, and they have performed extraordinarily well and done our club very proud. So here come Nigel is trying to figure out what he's going to do here. He's got, is this Nigel's hammer? It looks like it is. This is Nigel's first shot, but he's got so much red in the front of the house. I mean, he's got 4 stones that are giving at least partial cover. He's going to try and run that yellow back, I think. Angela's going to come and talk to Karen, and they're going to converse about it a little bit.
Oh, this is Nigel playing.
So let's see what happens here. Meanwhile, the other 2 sheets are on lead and second rock, so they're early on in their end, so that's why they don't have a lot going on. Sheet A is playing at a slightly quicker pace than the other sheets right now. Nigel's hit is coming hard. It's going to come into camera view right now. Let's see what this does. And yes, his peel actually takes out one of the stones, but promotes the other one. And now red is sitting 3, and all 3 rocks are under cover. And Alf is going to say, you know what? I liked that stone there. Let's put it right back. You know, this end on sheet A reminds me of a time I played in the Golden Handle in which we had to deal with a junked house, and we were looking at giving up 2. And I just insisted that we were not going to give up 2, and I decided to blow open the house. And I actually made things worse. We ended up giving up 4 in that end. So, I mean, sometimes these houses with all this stuff up front, no matter what your best intention is, you're gonna accidentally make things a little bit tougher on yourself. Sometimes there's just no way to get in there. Now, there is a path right now because he just poked a hole, and he can get straight at the button right now, but Alf is going to try and plug that hole himself. And here comes his last rock to try and guard up what he has. So let's see where this ends up. Angelo is watching it closely. The sweepers are sticking with it closely. It is curling. It is digging in. It is gorgeous. That essentially eliminates that port. I think Nigel, if I had to guess, his best shot is to try to angle raise that guy on the left-hand side, but I don't know that you can do it. That's an extraordinarily challenging shot. So I don't know if I would try that. Meanwhile, over here on sheet C, we've got 1 red stone in the house, and Brian Tully is actually going to try and come right through that narrow port. Let's see if he gets through there. No impacts on the guard, but he went for it. He could see it. It's just that's not a very wide port, and from where I'm sitting, it's a very tough shot, but good try. Excellent try. Nigel's still trying to figure out over on sheet A how he's going to do this. It looks like he is going to try the angle promote because I don't know that he has much else, or he might be just trying to curl through that hole. He might be trying to go stay to the left of that red, get to the right of the yellow, and get into the house. On sheet B, eliminates a guard, is going to just change stones in the back. And Trish is going to continue to put up guards. We have no score up on sheet B for the second end. But I'm pretty sure it was 1 red, so Trish is going to try and take 2 or 3 here to kind of get back into it. She's already sitting 2, so that's why she's trying to guard already. Well, Nigel apparently has settled in on his shot. And this should be interesting to see. Looks like he is going to try an angle raise here. I don't know that he has much other of an option. Or much else of an option. Or the draw. I mean, let's see where this goes. Ooh, it's coming really heavy. It's going to hit the red and roll out into the 12-foot, and that's going to be, I think it's 3 more red. Yeah, that definitely looks like 3 red over on sheet A. A steal for Alf Winter gives him a 4-1 lead.
Is it Angelo?
No, Alf is a skip.
Oh, Alf is a skip.
Alf is a skip over on sheet A.
Oh, you're right.
Yep, Winter versus Lucas. The Battle of Sunday Morning, he called it.
Yes.
Meanwhile, over here on sheet B, an attempt to take out that back stone or possibly the draw in. I did not see the shot. Comes up a little bit off. So we're still sitting 1 and 2 in the yellows.
Oh, spike ball. Cool. You ever play that? Once.
Over on sheet C, Mike Henneberry is going to try and get some points on the board. He's sitting 1 right now, and he's going to guard it up.
Frisbee sport games. Can jam.
And the director is assembling some sort of mechanism. What do you got?
Spike ball.
Spike ball?
Spike ball.
Spike ball.
Volleyball on a trampoline.
Volleyball on a trampoline. Why does this not sound safe to me? I would not.
No. You hit instead of a net, you hit the ball. The ball hits the trampoline.
Oh, I'm not on the trampoline. The ball is.
Right.
Okay, that makes a lot more safety sense for me. Thank you for clarifying that. And it looks like it's some assembly required, so I'll look forward to seeing that when it's done. Meanwhile, over on sheet C, we still got we're up to 2 red in the house because the guard kind of crept in a little bit, but it's up tight against the yellow, so Brian's going to try after the shot rock right now. Over on sheet B, we're getting to skip rocks, and it looks like John Gibbons is going to try and draw in because there's just a lot of yellow in the house right now. If he can put something behind those guards, it would be nice. Let's show you what that looks like from above. And that's what it looks like from above. I still don't have a score up on sheet B from the second end, but I think it's 4-0 for red. Pretty sure. So now we'll see where John puts this. If he can tuck in behind those guards, even if he can sneak right up against that yellow in the 4-foot, that would be gorgeous. He would be sitting pretty if he did that. The shot is on its way. Sweeper's going on it. He's going pretty hard. The Vice is watching it carefully. I think he was thinking about creeping out to try and help, and now he's going to come out a couple steps and try to help. But it's going to actually impact the guard and set another guard. Oh, there was a thought there for a moment that the yellow might make it all the way to the red. We might have a promote opportunity, but it just didn't happen for them. Meanwhile, here's what's been developing on C. We have a shot coming in and just trading stones, but it is still sitting 2 red. And Brian Tully is going to have to do something about that red stone. And he is. He's going to ask AJ to take it out for him. Nine people watching, but nobody talking to me. Talk to me, folks. Send a shout out. Comment on AJ's pants. If you haven't seen AJ's pants, they're tremendously golf bad, and he'll tell you that. Oh, his takeout is coming straight at it. It looks nice. He's coming outside into it. It's coming right at it. Might even get a little roll here. Gets enough of a roll that he gives him partial cover, but it's still visible. But glorious shot. So let's see here. Let's go back to sheet B, where our redstone just, where Trish just threw her first shot and accidentally nudged the red one in, it looks like. So now John is trying to figure out what he's going to do. Looks like he's going to try and promote that red even more on an angle raise into maybe the yellow or into the 4-foot itself. Interesting kind of call. Oh, we're waiting for John Gibbons' shot. A reminder that we are going to be here all day. We have draws at 8, 9:45, 11 something, 1 something. We are here all day, folks. Curling, we have draws all the way till 10 o'clock. please join us on the stream or join us live. I am now witnessing the glory that is Smash Ball being played in the warm room, and this is a lot less scary than it sounded like when I first envisioned it.
It gets pretty intense.
It gets intense. It looks like a lot of fun.
Because it's a 3-person game, or 6-person game, and you have 3 hits that hit the net.
Oh, so you can set. So you don't have to hit back on your first shot like in racquetball. I can tap it over and Craig can spike it.
Yeah.
Interesting. I will have to try that later on. But more importantly right now, right. All right, let's go back out to the cube zoom here. Trish is lining up her shot. I apologize for getting distracted by the Smash Ball, but it really is a cool looking game. So,
Spike ball. Spike ball.
Spike ball. Spike ball. I keep calling it Smash Ball, and that's not even close to right. Meanwhile, over here on sheet C, Brian Telly is getting ready to throw his first rock. And it looks like he's going to try and chip that red out. The director has told me to shush. All right, let's see what happens here. This is, because of the yellow in the back four, this is not an easy shot by Mr. Tully. It's pretty heavy. It looks like it's online. I just worry about the jam. And it does, unfortunately, jam. So that's going to set it up for to be 1 red still. And I think now Mike Henneberry is going to try and eliminate that yellow stone that he just put there and increase his count that way. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Meanwhile, Trish is down in the hack for what is her final shot. This is the hammer? This is the hammer. So let's go to far B. And it looks like Trish is trying to draw in and push that red back. That's a long way to curl. Let's see what this does. She comes out. She's got decent weight. Not quite sure what the call here is, but let's see how it shakes out.
Trying to run her yellow back.
It's a yellow run back.
Yellow, but it's not going to overcurl.
According to the professor, but it's going to go right into the pile of guards, and instead she's going to give up another 1. Someone needs to tell the Vices over there to put scores up. Oh, there they are. Look at this. We're getting a mass scoreboard updates. Okay, they just updated the second end, but they didn't update the third end that just finished. Well, new Vices, right? They probably don't even know. So I shouldn't be critical of that. That was the third end, wasn't it? Because they're going away from us. Okay.
Now they're coming back. It's the second end. Now they're coming back. Now you're... yeah, so 1, 2...
There we go. Okay. The scoreboard is now accurate over on sheet B. Thank you so much. And it is 5-0 in favor of red. Sorry, I don't mean to be critical, guys. It's confusing to me when I'm trying to watch 3 matches and try to keep 3 different scores up without putting up that number. It really does help us a great deal when you guys put those numbers up.
And you know they can all hear you.
Yeah, well, I presume they're all going to rush home and watch this, so, you know, they're all so excited that I'm mispronouncing their names on YouTube that they're going to rush home to watch and see what has transpired. Okay. Meanwhile, sheet C is still finishing up over here. This is Brian Tully's last shot, and he is thinking about it with AJ. Let's show you what they're looking at. They're looking at 2 reds in there.
Yeah, good 6.
And I think the easy answer here for me, because it's your last shot. This is Brian's last shot, and he does not have the hammer. If Brian hits that and rolls under cover, it would be difficult to get him out. That's probably what I would shoot for myself.
Can you jump on everything?
Yep.
Oh, very. Here's our...
A quick shout out to our friends down in Plainfield at the Bond Squeal. We have 2 teams out there from Nutmeg this year. Enjoy yourselves, guys. Do what you do when you're at the Bond Squeal.
Drinking tournament with little curling on the side?
It is a drinking tournament with a curling problem. That is for sure the Bond Squeal.
Your name, you think so?
I'll tell you right now, I've been to the Bond Squeal once, and Plainfield puts on a fantastic Bond Spiel. The food alone was worth the trip for me. Not even about the party. The party was fantastic, but the food was just amazing. So anyway, enough of my babbling. Phil is in the house, and it looks like Mike Hedberry is going to come down and throw. While I was talking about the Bond Squeal, I missed what AJ did, but you guys saw it, so that's all that matters. And now Mike Hedberry has an open draw for 3. Anything more than solid blue. A shout out to the director's friend McKinney, who just wrote in and gave us some feedback on the broadcast. Thank you so much for watching, McKinney, and thank you so much for your feedback. We always try to entertain. Anyway, back to the match. And Mike Hedberry is shooting for 3 here. All he's got to do is get solid blue here, and he's going to get right back in this match. Oh, it's a little heavy, but as long as it doesn't drive that other stone out the back, it's okay. AJ's going to work on it, and unfortunately it is going to. But he's still going to get 2. He's still got 2. Still got 2. He's still in this match. He's upset with himself, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Got the 2. All righty, so they're cleaning up on that end. And so we'll switch to the near houses. C just finished up. As you can see, A is a little bit further ahead. A is on to Skip Rocks already. Let's look at near A. And this is Nigel's first rock. Nigel is operating with hammer here. And he's going to scoot through. Ooh, he's going to nick his own yellow on the way out and make it a little bit more difficult for himself coming down. Now, Alf is up 4-1. Red leads 4-1, excuse me, on sheet A. So I think Alf may try... Is he going to try a guard or is he going to try stone elimination? You can go either way. I personally would probably be hitting here because I would want to eliminate the possibility of 2. But it looks like Alf is going to draw and try to guard. And this just comes down to a personal style choice. Alf would rather do the guard and prevent the draw. I would rather take the hit and leave him the draw for 1. But this is also a steal opportunity if Alf hits this. If Alf can prevent him from getting into the 4-foot with whatever he puts up right now, he will, he'll steal another one. And that's a nice play for Alf. So Stone is on its way. Sweepers are going on it right now. Alf is following them down, giving them instructions. Here comes the shot. Coming into view, and it is going to be a gorgeous guard by Alf Winter. It's going to actually redirect off his existing guard, which is just going to make the shot even better. It's going to be near impossible for Nigel to get at that red stone unless he drives his yellow straight back, and that's the only way I see him getting to 2. So here's where why I would have played it differently. If you take out that yellow stone, he's only got the draw for 1. Now, if he hits a perfect pushback and he hits that yellow straight back into the red, then he's got 2 here. So that's the risk you take. I mean, it's not an easy shot. Let me just say that right now, but it's a shot Nigel can absolutely make, and I think it's the right shot to take. Let's get the director's opinion on what's going on sheet A. So Alf chose to put up the guard rather than take out the yellow in the 12-foot and leave him a draw for 1, and now Nigel is going to go for a pushback for 2. Would you have taken out the yellow stone, or would you have put up the guard there, Eric? He is now, but he could have taken out that yellow on the left-hand side with his Alf slash rock? Yeah. Would you have taken it out, or would you put up the guard?
Yeah, you always got to take everything off.
All right, Eric's with me on that one, but that, again, that's just a style difference.
Try to get rid of every rock you can.
Yeah. Against my match with Robert Quan last night, that was my... I know Robert's going to make that draw, so I'm just going to make sure the draw is only for 1. That's the way I approach the match. and it worked until the fifth end. And then it all went to you know what. Then the wheels fell off. That's exactly right. But we had a great time playing.
Did I tell you what I did to Robert's lead in second the day before? I'm like, oh, you're on Robert's team?
Uh-huh.
I apologize. Like, just so you know, he's not that experienced.
So now the director is telling me he actually punked the front end of Robert's team. Robert Kwan is a very experienced curler.
Possibly our most experienced.
Yeah, I mean, he's got more years curling than some of the people have years on this planet in this club. So, and he's not exactly an old man. He's just been curling since he was a young guy.
12, yeah.
Yeah, he's 12 years old. That's right. That's right. So, all right, I'm chatting here, and I'm leaving you looking at an empty house. So let's show you what's going on down here in the near houses. Over here on sheet B, which is right now a 5-0 game in favor of red. Trish is going to try and get out there and make some shots. Hey, Robert, you made it.
Yes, I did.
Alrighty, so back here on sheet C, that red goes right through the back of the house. Yeah, so does Mr. Steffen.
Oh,
He lives in that area too.
all right, because you teach at Fairfield U, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know where the St. Anne's Catholic Church is?
I'm sure I've walked by it for sure.
Yeah. As you go in the Black Rock, past there, go back. Big
So
Gotcha.
looks like Brian's going to start taking out some red stones over here on C. Stone elimination to prevent Mike Henneberry from getting, a 2 or 3 steal here and getting right back into this. It's only 4-2 in the fourth end. I mean, this is not a blowout by any stretch. It's 5-0 in the fourth end over on B, and it's 5-1 in the fifth end over on A. So the clock is ticking. $14 folks watching us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. If you guys have anything you'd like to toss into it, toss into the chat. I am happy to answer questions when I can. And I just said hi to those 14 people, and 2 of them left. Oh, it's funny how that works sometimes. So, all right, I need to go off mic for a few minutes to go get changed. So I am going to leave you folks with the multi-view. Here is all 6 houses, so you can watch each game in progress. The near houses are at the top, the far houses are at the bottom, and I shall endeavor to be back in a few minutes.
So Britt Bisson has stepped out. Craig Steffen on the microphone. Mike Kinneberry trying to come in and bump his red back on sheet C to be sitting 2. And actually, it's going to get the bump. It's going to split. So I don't know if he'll get enough to be sitting 2. I think he did. Oh, and maybe 3. Nice split. You take a look at that from the top. So you look over on sheet C, which is to the left in the camera view. You see 2 reds biting, real close to biting the 8-foot. That's 2 that he just split one of those in, and the other one was shooter. So Mike Kinneberry mounting a bit of a comeback here. Right now sitting 3. Now he does not have the hammer. All right, they're pushing stones on sheet B. Looks like either 1 yellow or possibly 2 yellows. We'll wait and see what goes up on the scoreboard. So Brian Tully in the house with his first hammer stone. So he has the hammer. We'll have one more shot after this. He's going for the takeout. Certainly has the lead on the front stone. He may get the double. Looking like it's going to be close. Oh, and he jams, so he gets rid of one of them and pushes the other one back to biting the 8-foot. So not sure. Looks like red is still counting 2. Yep, red is still counting 2. Up here comes Britt Bisson back on. You want to grab the other mic, Brett? Okay. I stole it from you, but you can have it back.
Just sitting in so I can get changed.
Are you up?
At 9:45, yeah.
Okay.
What's that? Going down.
All right, so we got some smack talk going on in the warm room already. Britt Bisson is going on the ice at 9:45, and his competitor Skip is letting him know what he thinks about the outcome. All right, over on
Oh, he's not serving at all. He played very well. Michael? I'm Rich. How are ya? Welcome, guys. Welcome.
check out the mess over here on sheet A. Team Alf has a pretty good lead in the game. I believe it's 5-1, and they are red. And right now they're counting two, a whole bunch of stones in the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stones in the house, but I believe red is counting two. So Alf looking to extend his lead. All right, let's go back over here to sheet C. When we're going to look at this above camera, you can see that. See what's going on here. We got yellow in the hack, and yellow is now counting one. Snuck one into the 8-foot to outcount the 3 reds, and it's nicely buried. So that's a good situation for yellow. AJ's in the house. And Skip is about to throw the last stone, so this is the hammer. Brian Tully's giving his front end a quick discussion about what he's up to and what he's trying to do. All right, so we're going to go ahead and switch over to sheet B, or the full sheet look to see this takeout coming in. All right, so he got rid of one of the reds over there on sheet A, and a beautiful long takeout into the back on sheet B. Removes the red stone. It does leave the yellow stone in the house. It is counting. It's the only stone in play. So John Gibbons decides to ignore that back yellow stone, put up another guard to give him something to, let's see here. Who's got the hammer? Red's got the hammer. No. Actually, I think that yellow has a hammer. Oh, it's a fifth in, so I think I'm missing one of the scores. So not sure on that. Okay, over here on sheet B, we just had a very nice draw. Although it slid a little bit deep, it went into the back 12, so it leaves one yellow after the final hammer shot. So yellow had a chance there, a fairly open draw for 2, and just slightly overthrew it and went into the back 12.
Okay.
What do you need?
It'll help just bringing the grill out.
All right, no problem.
Good, I got somebody.
Okay. We have lots and lots of outdoor activities today. They're getting ready they're starting to set up the grill. Going to have lots of grilled meats. We have can jam. We have disc golf. We have whatever that game is where you throw the little bags back and forth.
Only probably thrown less than 20 stones in total.
Fantastic.
So, my stones didn't make it to the hot ones.
Yeah.
Have either or both of you played a formal match yet?
A formal match? No, just the
Cornhole. That's the name of the game. Cornhole. We got cornhole. We even have mini cornhole on one of our tables here in the warm room. Little tiny bean bags and little tiny sloped platforms to land on.
You're on a timer. We have wherever we are, an hour and 20 minutes into our game. That's our last half. So the biggest thing is making sure you guys are ready to throw when it's your turn to throw. Who's throwing lead today?
I think I am.
Okay, so you're going to be responsible for doing the toss with the other lead when we get out there.
All right, so update here on sheet A. It is now 5-1.
So your job is to find the window and get straight to the hat.
Sheet 8 off there pushing rock, so they'll be updating the score momentarily.
Yeah, so you're going to throw 1-2.
After the fifth in, we'll see how that turned out.
This is Hunter. Michael.
So we got 2 sheets throwing away, so we're going to go ahead and switch over here so we can see.
So the important thing is just to make sure you're in the right place at the right time. Try to keep it moving. Lead is probably the most important one, just because you're going to start off.
So we're kind of out of sync. Sheet A is pretty much completely out of sync with sheet B and C. My guess is sheet A is playing a little faster. Sheet B got a draw coming in. It's going to just miss. Oh, it ticked the guard. All right. Going to slide into the house, but red is still going to be counting on the 4 foot.
So we haven't had any time. We came within 2 minutes last night. But you know, and most of them stuff fun. And ask questions. If there's anything you need from
I think obviously put the broom where is the goal for the stone to end up, and then obviously then you aim for the
right.
I got to make sure I see where in my head, like, okay, he really wants it there, but
I tend to.
there.
So we've got a lot of brand new greenhorns playing in the Blarney this year. Some who've played maybe a couple ins, and others who've played maybe 1 or 2 full games at best. For many of them, this is their first time playing a full game, and that's the point of this tournament. The Blarney Stone is a beginners tournament for the club, a chance for all the newer curlers to get out on the ice and learn how to play in a tournament.
Stand in the house in the depth where I want to stone. So if I'm standing in the front circle, that's usually where I'm here in the second half anyway. But I usually tend to stand at the depth of where I want something. I communicate a lot, so you can hear me yell a lot. Don't hesitate to just tell me if something's confusing or anything.
Just switch over here real quick to show this nice draw. Just thrown on sheet A. Leaves Alf and Angelo counting 2 reds. We'll switch back. We have a lot of different views here. We have the long angled view of all 3 houses near the warm room and all 3 houses going away. And then we have overhead cameras on each of the different houses, except for sheet A away. The camera had some trouble early on, and we haven't yet been able to fix it because it's actually pretty hard to get up to the ceiling where the cameras are mounted.
Everything, ice is such a weird science. Ambient temperature.
Britt Bisson just called it science of ice. I call it black magic of ice.
Like right now, even though they're going to pebble
And I'm a chemist.
after this draw, because people have been on it before we got here, it's going to be different than what you guys experienced.
All right, nice draw there on sheet B. Red now counting 2. But they are exposed. Certainly the one on the left, you can hit and roll off of it onto the button. You can even come in and hit the one on the right and do it in-off double, but it looks like they're going to go for the hit and roll. Just a safer shot, easier, a little bit more room for error.
It is what it is.
Shot's on its way.
Playing Marianne, and she's a fun player. She's here somewhere. And Robert, watch out for that one.
All right, this shot's looking. They're gonna get the in-off double. Boom, boom. Didn't hit hard enough to get rid of both of them, but it moved both red stones, and yellow's now counting.
I don't actually know what I'm doing.
The downside is that the yellow counting stone is quite vulnerable. It's easy to see and could be taken out.
This sector, you can't lie like that.
I don't think curling was covered anywhere in the law. So.
I remember last time you and I played together, you were having a little bit of trouble with balance on just the out turns. Did you get that straightened out?
I did.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's a matter of practice, isn't it?
Yeah. No,
Scott Funston in the house.
It was. It might have been Eric actually. But we figured out what I was doing wrong.
Yeah.
And then I overcompensated another way, and then I figured out what I was doing wrong.
All right, over here on sheet C, you got a takeout on its way. Going to try to take out the red on the back 8 foot. Yellow trying to crawl or trying to actually maintain their lead. Yellow is up 5-1 or 5-2, 5-2 after, and they're in the 5th in.
I take it we're playing each other. Against each other.
Yes. This is my front end.
Excellent. You'll do it.
I'm live. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go off mic just for a minute or two here.
Eric, who put this together?
Yeah.
Are they people you played with? Or
No, that's Brett mentioned that, or Eric mentioned that they had talked about it. Yeah, one other guy actually had a basket. We may have 2 baskets out there.
Oh,
eventually.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, we were the last night.
Oh, I thought I turned it off. Maybe I didn't. Okay, well, they heard us talking about disc golf.
Scott Funston wanted to know whether I brought my disc golf basket, which I did. We have a lot of extracurricular activities for all of our curlers hanging around today. It's a beautiful day outside. It's supposed to be up into the 50s. This morning it felt like curling weather. This afternoon it might not feel.
Right. That's a bonus.
Okay, let's see here. Over on sheet B, we're into the Skips Rocks. Yellowstone is still sitting right on the touching the button. I'm sure the call will be to take it out. Actually, looking at the broom, they're going to go for the bump back. They're just going to come down and sit on there. Oh, I'm sorry. Yellow is throwing. So, yeah, they're just going to put up the guard in front of their count of Yellowstone. So, red must have missed there. So, an opportunity here for yellow to start crawling back into this game.
My first pair of real shoes. Just, He's the one that. And then I started bouncing.
Let's check out the shot coming in on sheet A. Looks like it's a takeout. Lots of red stones in the house. There's 1 hit, 2 hits, and got rid of one of them, but unfortunately left 2 reds sitting counting and under guard, so just didn't have enough oomph to get the double. The line was good for the double, but it didn't have enough power. We see here on sheet B the Yellowstone coming into the stop. That was supposed to be a guard to protect the yellow on the forefoot. Slight little bit of over curl. So again, the Yellowstone on the forefoot is wide open. So red will have a chance here to take the yellow out and be sitting 3. John Gibbons sitting up the broom with his vice. All right, we're going to watch this draw come in on A, near A, bring it over. Here they come, and they're trying to put up a guard. It's going to slightly over curl, and it's going to bump the yellow. That's fine. No, that does some good guard duty. Now we'll go back over here to the far view for all 3 sheets, and we have John Gibbons' last shot without the hammer. But he's in a good situation because he can take away the counting Yellowstone with a straightforward takeout. Okay, and also on sheet C, got Phil Stevens. Looks like he's throwing a takeout. John Gibbons' shot is also on its way. No sweeping. How come we haven't subbed somebody in for John's team there? Looks like he's playing with 3. Oh, and he missed. Oops. All right, so yellow's got a shot at 2 and could start crawling back into the game.
Okay.
You're playing at 9:45? Yep.
Yes, sir.
So the next draw is starting to show up here in the warm room.
It was drawn in by written commentary.
Okay, sheet B. It's on the way. Looking to go in there and slip one in underneath the yellow, get right to the house and count 2 yellows. The shot looks pretty good. They need to come off. I think it's a little bit hot. It's going to bump. Oh, they overswept it. Oh, the other skip is sweeping it out the back. Yeah, so 1 yellow. Okay. Yeah, a little energetic on the sweeping there. And yellow is excited. They're on the board.
Good morning.
Okay, so they are on the clock in these games, and I believe the next draw is at 9:45. So my guess is the in they're playing now will be the last in. I don't know about on sheet B whether or not this will be it or not. Mike Kenneberry's here in the close house on sheet C, indicating that he has some troubles. So sheet A is in the 6th in. They will finish out their 6th in. Sheet B seems to have some kind of controversy going on, or maybe I wasn't sure. There they go. They're kicking stones and they're bringing them home. So they have folded up on sheet B. So the win goes to Gibbons. Sheet A, Team Alf has a clear lead and is going to win. Right now, there's 2 red stones counting, and red already has a big lead. Okay, so that gives Alf the win there on sheet A. And on sheet C, it is 5-2 right now. There is still, I believe, a statistical chance that red could tie it up, but they're rapidly running out of stones. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. Yeah, I think that they are indeed shaking because there is no way for red to score 3 stones, and they're down by 3 stones. And so they're going, oh, nope, I take that back. There was a shake, but now they're still talking. I think they're going to go ahead and throw the stone. I guess technically they're not eliminated mathematically because there is a red stone way out there. It would be quite the interesting shot that would put that red stone in the house and put the other red stone in the house. Basically, physics doesn't allow it, but they're just going to play it out here. Sheet B is kicking her stones home. They played 5 ends, and the final score was 6-0. And on sheet E, they got in all 6 ends, and the final score is 5-1. Okay, so we're going to take out the red stone here on sheet C, and he missed, just for the entertainment value. Okay, now they're shaking. All right, so it's all over on sheet C. That concludes this opening draw for Saturday at the Nutmeg Blarney Stone Bonspiel. And I am going to go ahead and stop the live stream, and we'll start back up in a few minutes with the second draw of the day.